in one session.
As you can see, I am recording.
Recording.
I am recording. Oh, the three Ouija boys just flying on our boat and heading for the realest real. Now, if you'll indulge me for a minute, I just want to play this song by my favourite ever band, The Fall.
Better not.
Hey, what did you do that for? Dobby?
I feel like my ears have just been sick.
Why did you throw my record out of the bike boat?
Record is a stretch. I think,
That was Rod. That was listening to Rod by The Fall.
well, The Fall have been de-rodded.
Oh, you know what?
What Marquis Smith doesn't know could fill a warehouse.
You'll never guess, but lads, I've pulled me Frickle Vogspick. We've gone off to make a stop down there on that desert island.
Oh no.
My GPS says its name is Sunderland. Oh, hold on.
Again? This is where we were at Christmas.
Have you gone round in a blooming circle? I can't believe it. Hold tight, we're gonna crash.
Oh.
What have you done here?
We're right through the factory. It looks like we've gone right into the factory of a shoe sweatshop. There seems to be... We don't know these characters, I don't think, unless we interacted in the past, but it looks like a Japanese dog and her two hobgoblin husbands.
Yes, I'm a bloody hobgoblin and I'm sick and tired of you crashing through our roof. This is the 6th time this week.
Can you help us?
Alright, well, I'll tell you what.
Sorry about the route.
We've had an issue. We've had an issue with the dead foreman. And I tell you what, if you can bring him back to life as some kind of zombie, with magic, we'll help you. We'll take you to a nurse what we know.
Okay, deal.
I'm dead now. I was dead, but now I'm alive. Hurrah! And I have a right proper Lucio Fulci craving for brains, preferably on a barm cake. Baguettes for spinal cord and 20-foot tall Franken chickens. But I love eating them brains. Me, I do. Actual babby's yed. None of this fake stuff. It's no longer a flipping night factory. It's now a brains trust sponsored by Bovine University.
Deal. Let's get that Frickle Vogspick fixed before my leg goes shattered my soul. Okay.
Let's do it. Gangrenous.
But before that, hi, Assistant Spider. You're still here? Yes, Mr. Larton Krebsley hasn't paid me and I am freelance. Can I be on your payroll?
No.
I only charge one shiny jelly bean per week.
I've done some research and inspections, and upon further review, Assistant Spider, you can not be on the payroll.
I only charge one shiny jelly bean per week.
Okay then, we haven't seen any spiders for a while, wink.
But you need to write the songs for us. No.
Deal.
Alright. Are you going to say the name of the character or the thing?
I will say the thing as per...
Rod.
Occupation, star student, presumably.
Rod.
An identical twin brother named Maude Flanders.
Rod.
Devout Christian child.
Rod.
No significant character development.
Rod.
Light blue polo shirt.
Rod.
Type 1 diabetes.
Rod.
Quiet chewing trip.
In the desolate realm known as Heck, a congregation of malevolent entities is gathered. They are identified as antiquarians, adopting the personas of Lawrence of Nightingale and Flimsy Rosewater. Once warmly embraced by rodents in the Evenway Republic, they now find themselves aboard a vessel and in a factory, teetering on the brink of doom.
I am Lawrence M. Nightingale, the anchor host. I am immune to... I think this is you. No, it's not, it's me. Sorry, I've completely lost all sense of self. I am immune to seafood, I am bloodless. I possess a disdain for cabbage. Oh yeah, it's all coming back to me now. These are my traits. I claim kinship to Sasquatch. I oversee the local postal service. I endorse Red Bull, and I collaborate with Shreddies for unorthodox culinary promotion. Presently, I hold a fraction of my father's abilities. I possess yearly passes to both Graceland and Euro Dollywood.
And I am Flimsy Rosewater, an ardent enthusiast in ribbons, in pursuit of eternal jellyfish, reveling in language and immersed in the vivid spectrum of colours. I bring joy to the mouse village after an age of XNE demons. Additionally, I have an affection for store-bought margarita pizza, and like Lawrence, I wield a portion of my father's power. I have a unique relic for my own relic.
And there's me, Frozen, the third sibling who delights in resembling Dobby from Harry Potter's. I suppose I've inherited Dad's powers too. The power of resentment. Murky shit.
Formerly, we served as tome scribes in Lee Town Hall.
More like Boona Baines.
Haphazardly cataloguing the mysterious Simpsons archives and meticulously chronicling the obscure nooks and gateways of Springfield.
Now liberated from external disturbances as dictated by the sacred text, we pay homage to those who have departed, R.I.P. Darren Spider and Ham, and Jessica Owl, and so on our enchanted boat unearth the truest truth.
You're kind of doing that thing where you cut in and out again. It was all right before with the microphone. Are you still using that microphone?
Yes.
Ah, interesting. Certain tones. Maybe it's the Rod tone. Hard to tell. Hard to tell.
Is this better?
Nope, that's the same.
I see. We'll see how it goes.
I think when you get too close, actually, it doesn't like it. When you're a bit further away, it likes it a lot.
That's better then.
Yes.
That's good then.
I believe you're referring to Rod Flanders, the character from the animated television series The Simpsons. Name Rod, student presumably. He is one of the sons of...
We already did that.
He's already one of the sons of Ned Flanders and has an identical twin brother called Todd Flanders. He's extremely religious and conservative and goes to church with his family a lot.
The Flanderses, of whom we have covered all but Rod. So today is your day.
Today is your day, Rod. This is all about Rod Flanders, this entire show.
Wink.
Wink. He's known for comical imbalances.
Yes, he is portrayed as innocent, polite and diabetic, reflecting the conservative upbringing by his parents, Ned, and insert wife name.
And red-haired mother. He remains consistent in his portrayal as a devout Christian child. It's true, isn't he? He doesn't undergo any significant development whatsoever.
No, Mrs. Simpson made me gay.
Yay! Is his catchphrase.
I agree.
Rod Flanders, is the oldest son of etc. etc. He prays morning and night for God to watch over him and his little brother Todd, and he prays for the success of his father's business. He prays for the success of all Christians, but does not respect people of other or no faith.
Nice. All Christians from Slater to Bale.
His one regret is that he cannot pray at school. His favourite songs are Noah and the Arky and I've got Joy, Joy, Joy down in my heart. He has type 1 diabetes and he's described as being quiet during trips.
And if the devil doesn't like it, he can sit on a tack. Ow.
It's less fun that way. They don't use dice because dice are wicked in the game, The Good Samaritan.
He also enjoys to play Billy Graham's Bible Blaster, a game that he found solace in very shortly after the death of his mother. A video game in which players try to convert to the heathens by firing Bibles at them. It cheered him and Todd up when their mother died. I already said that.
Yeah, I already said that. Ned prohibits them from consuming foods containing sugar, as he fears it will make them behave badly or send them into diabetic shock.
One or the other.
One or the other, but never both. He's also extremely entomorphic, particularly with moths and ladybugs. An insect flying near him can be classified as a bug attack. They enjoy stories about robots named Rod and Todd, but these also frighten them.
That's true. That's a good one. Please tell me a story about a robot called Rod who has a robot brother called Todd who is 2 space years younger than him. And then Lisa just tells that exact story as they've just said it, and they say, I don't like this story, in a scared voice.
He is scared by Todd's Rod mask. And he's envious of themselves.
Because they get to wear dresses. He did obtain something. He obtained new climbing skills.
He did.
And he also celebrated his 10th birthday at Uncle Mo's family feed bag. Please take the basket off my head, kids. The fries are extremely hot.
There is some controversy. Yes.
Please go on.
There is some controversy as to which of the two is the elder. The older Flanders boy is Todd, not Rod. TV magazine
Yes.
show Rock Bottom makes claim.
I've always thought that was the case. I thought Bart and Todd were the same age because of the golf stuff, but maybe not, as it states here that he was 8. But Rod and Todd were both born before Lisa, who is 8.
Yes.
And Todd appeared younger than Bart, who is 10, in the episode Lisa's First Word.
Todd started with a T and was taller, and Rod was long like a rod and hence taller.
Yes, they were both the taller brother.
Non-canon future at age 40, Rod and Todd are cross-dressing lounge singer in a weak boo twist.
Spoilers. Bongo.
They need to live with Ned because his eyes fell out.
Yes. He appears with his brother Todd Flanders and his cousin Ralph Wiggum as a hobbit-like child who help Homer and Marge defeats the two-headed dragon, who is Patty and Selma, in order to get to the key card. That is true. I remember that. Rod as a small elf ally is quite fun. Good
Rod directs here.
Rod redirect. Rod directs. There's something in that. Do it in your own head.
Capri Flanders, played by Pamela Hayden and Hank Azaria.
Accurate, but I will also say that I think Nancy Cartwright might be in there, as we will come to in clip 1. Age discrepancy. T was taller and Rod was long like a rod. We've already done this. What connections do we see to cast members? We can go for school, kind of sometimes, same as Todd. Uncool, definitely. He's not a mobber. Not necessarily bringing back to annoy Groening, but to annoy Groening's characters, such as the Simpson family. Love connections, no. Himself, Jesus. Tapped out, yes. Bongo, yes. Celebrity voice, no. Married to Selma, no. Multiple jobs, no. Celebrity, no. Poverty, no. Moving in with Simpsons, no. Incompetent, no. Thermoleminous, no.
But his brother did move in with the Simpsons briefly, but never Rod. Rod, I guess, is the more conservative of the two. What with the devil herd Todd?
Yeah, Rod is like the Maude of the Flanders children. Todd is the Ned.
I don't know, I just like him. What appeals to you about Rod?
Maude is the Todd. I like Rod. I think he's probably the easiest going member of the family. Probably the most chill. He has the most chill vibe about him.
Yes.
He is, but he also seems to be way more scared of stuff than Todd. Todd is the one that kind of does stuff, like going to the Shelbyville Lemon adventure and renouncing his faith in front of a church full of people, etc. Whereas Rod is very kind of, does what is necessary to stay in the shadows and not draw any attention towards Rod. One of the more normal characters in town until about season 13, probably. When they just went full, like Rod and Todd are really weird, aren't they? Just ran with that for a long time.
What weird things did they do, though?
Creepy things, like there's one where they start speaking in tongues and they just start rolling around on the floor making noises, and the Imagination Christmas. And just them, they're just generally referred to as being creepy and weird and freaky.
We don't see much of that, though. We haven't come across much of that in our travels, have we?
No, but in our defence and our cousin's defence, they were not broadcasts.
Not like this is. What rank would you put Rod?
Probably C. I don't think he ranks as similarly as Todd. Shockingly, I think Todd got more out of the show as a character. I think Rod is definitely the lowest listed Flanders family member.
Yeah.
Probably why it took us 4.5 years to get here.
Very much, but now we are here. But where can we be? Come through the jungle. Mind the hot sauce. Here we are. We're approaching Scaramouche, Laboratoire Scaramouche. Knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock.
Like, what's your name again?
My name is Rod.
Oh, that's a shock.
Rod
we're doing
an
episode about Rod.
Not interested. Can we start our mission? Knock, knock, knock.
Yes, we need a nurse. Here we approach Scaramouche Laboratories. Hello. I was waiting behind the door.
We need a nurse. Normal man, doorman. We need a nurse. These effing clowns, these magicians have once again crashed through our roof. And one of them has done his toxics in. And we need a doorman. We know, we need a nurse. Is Nurse Jaude in?
She is here. She is malevolent, I will warn you. But he's bandages. Has bandages.
Who needs these bandages? I've got some controversial news segments to record.
Excellent. Welcome, Jaude. How is Did you ever find Ricardo?
He's in me.
I see. We don't talk about Ricardo.
He's in me right now and we don't talk about him.
No, moving on.
Go on.
Judy Finnegan is not True Frog.
Call of the Simpsons. Bart is grumbling. Season 1, episode 3. Roddy. Bart is grumbling and mowing the lawn as Roddy drives past. Driving movie. He's driving a moving lawnmower. Howdy,
Yes.
Bart. Hot in a fire? Says driving the lawnmower and isn't go. Shut up, Flanders, says Bart Simpson rude.
Exactly. Yeah, it said earlier that his first episode was not this, it was the one before it, but I did not spot that. This is the first Rod I can see based on Simpsons Wiki. It's also Nelson's voice, which has happened with Ralph as well, but like really late Ralph is like season 4, and they still just have him like with the wrong voice. This did happen a bit early on, like Lenny and Carl's voices swap over occasionally because they just didn't have it. They obviously didn't have as solid a system as Rod Tall, Todd Short, Tower.
Todd Tall for T for tall, Rod Tall, like a rod.
Yes, Rod really tall. So I think this is Nancy Cartwright with the Nelson voice, but it might be Pamela Hayden. Pamela Hayden is the normal Rod voice, but this does not sound like that. And this looks like they're setting it up where Rod and Bart would have a youthful version of Homer and Ned's thing, which they just never came back to at all. Like the Shut Up Flanders thing feels really out of place, but it feels like that's what they were probably trying to set up here, that it would be Homer and what's the man called Ned, him, and then Rod and Bart. But then immediately the next season they do an episode where they have a rivalry between Bart and a Flanders, and they use Todd.
It's almost as if they thought either it was too obvious or just not interesting for the kids to be kind of enemies. And it was funnier maybe that they were just pathetic and they didn't care about them.
Yeah, it kind of shifted as well, didn't it? Where the two-ish seasons, maybe 3, maybe 2, were more Homer based. So they probably just thought, we're not going to run with this. It probably won't come back. And then by the time it got round to being like Bartmania, they already had like Milhouse and Nelson and people set up more established those roles. And also, yeah, not having Rod and Todd at school doesn't help. But it is
weird decision, wasn't it?
Yeah, this episode has that Christmas scene with Ned and Todd coming out of the mall with gifts, and they bump into Homer and Bart, and it's like the two different families, like different scenarios. And this is like 2 episodes later, and they just establish a second Flanders child instead of just using Todd again. And then they go back to Todd the next time they need one. Quite interesting. They could have easily just had one child, or if they were going to do it, it would make more sense that Todd was like the Lisa. But he does not seem to be. If anything, Rod seems to be the Lisa. And nobody is the Maggie. Baz Flanders is the Maggie.
Nobody's the Maggie. Because they didn't go for those obvious things, those obvious setups, and I wonder whether that was intentional to give himself a little bit more space and not just go for the really obvious setup of having, Barney live next door and him having his kids who are friends, and then the Flanders on the other side with their wee willy winkies.
Exactly. I'd say there's not I say you, but this said there's not a lot of character development for Rod or a lot of things that happen, but I'd say these clips sort of summarise very different sides to Rod Flanders.
Oh, I'd say very much so. This one, he drives a lawnmower. Did we ever see that driving lawnmower again?
Possibly with the golf game, because there's a whole if you win, you have to mow my lawn in the Sunday best, but I don't think we ever see Rod particularly using it again.
No. Oh, so we do see them using it once with the Sunday best thing?
I think so, because I can't remember. The whole thing was whoever loses has to mow the other one's lawn in their wife's Sunday best, and then they concede, so they both technically lose. So they both mow a lawn, but I think it's like a standing up mower. I don't think it's one of these, to be honest. Maybe Groundskeeper Willie stole this from Rod Flanders directly.
It would make sense. It would indeed. I can imagine it right now. Oh, yes. Rod, give me that lawnmower. Okay.
No.
The end. I'm taking it. Your daddy owes me for the GGs.
Exactly.
2. Season 5, episode 15. Deep Space Homer. Homer Simpson was the real hero, they say, as they're hanging out of a spaceship with Buzz something. He jerry-rigged the door close using, hey, what's this? Journalist says, it's an inanimate carbon Todd. They all cheer and zoom in on the cover. Rod, inanimate carbon Rod. They all cheer and zoom in on the time cover. In Rod we trust. Cut to ticker tape parade and Rod in car. Rod on TV. Turns off TV by TV Homer. He sneers. Ah, says Bart Simpson. They were just about to show us some close-ups of the Rod. Oh, stupid Rod.
Nice. This must be his most celebrated moment in town. The fact that he has, first of all, ended up in space and lost all his animacy, and has also ingested a lot of carbon and
It's
been
made of
used.
carbon-based
It's,
life form.
it does seem that way, and he has been used as a way to save the life of Homer Simpson, the very neighbor he is against, and then Homer does not take this well and say stupid Rod. He doesn't say stupid Flanders though. He said
No,
stupid Rod.
his stupid Rod. As we watch the Rod have the time of its life, his and or hers life in a ticker tape parade on the TV.
Rod is very celebrated by Springfield this week. It all goes away as tends to do in Springfield. Like Bart became famous once and then nobody remembered.
No, not at all. On the,
So it
on the
doesn't
front cover of Time magazine, no less.
exactly. And they also did that thing where Ned was on Time magazine in Maude's brother's photo shop
Oh yeah,
in the mall. So now we have two Flanders headline, and this one though seems to be the real Time magazine.
the real
Which
Time
would have
magazine.
You think Rod at some point would have been celebrated more within the household for these achievements? Saving a spaceship with Buzz Lightyear on it and Homer Simpson is a very impressive thing to do. And a third man,
Pride comes before a fall. We all know that. Fall guy.
exactly. To infinity and then back.
And then back to infinity again just for fun.
Yes.
Clip
And then
3.
round all the houses.
2001. Rodney, who is now some sort of anthropomorphic animal, is training a rat. They are in an idyllic digital field. Hey, Seven, you're just in time. The human, Diana, says, that's right, Rodney. Said he was going to dance for me. Isn't that fabulous? Rodney replies, and here he goes. He is blue and has a yellow hat on, and he is talking, but I cannot understand him. But thankfully, there are subtitles. He is emitting stars, I repeat. He is also reeling and seems to have some sort of fish in an oven. He has big sleepy eyes and big teeth. Diana rudely responds with, I'm not sure what that thing you were doing with your face during the performance, and a cloud has appeared over her head. She is carrying a net. It all gets a bit Lynchian, and 3 dots appear.
Precisely, we seem to be in some sort of game world now. This must be from one of the many Simpsons video games. I'll open with what I don't like, and that's Diana.
Well, I don't like her attitude.
No, she's very is it Diana or is it Diane? Either way, she's rude. And
Either way.
I don't think that was a supportive thing to say to somebody who's just actively said, may I show you this dance that I've created? Turn around and be like, well, dance is kind of fine, but your face is a bit of a mess.
I don't believe I said the dancing was fine. At least you said the dancing was fine.
I don't recall saying good luck. Diane rudely responds in his face with, I'm not sure what you were doing that thing during a performance. Yes, she does. She, not a fan of Diane. I think Rod handles it well, though. Rod going by Rodney at this point.
Rod going by Rodney? The plonker.
He has a couple of different names throughout this, but they all are Rod themed. It turns out there aren't that many Rods.
A lot of rods?
There's a lot of Rods when you truly look. And I think the dance is great. I like that he's still got his trademark blue. He seems to have lost his hair and become an animal, but and now is able to cook. That wouldn't be a thing. It's very Rod kind of food, very Jesus-y. But I can't see Rod having the confidence to work an oven. So it could
nine lives and 6 fishes.
Oven. Exactly. Could just be a toy oven. And sleepy eyes and big teeth, doesn't he always?
Doesn't he always? Just that's his trademark. Tall like a rod. Tall like a rod with the sleepy eyes and big teeth.
And his classic catchphrase, yay, would you like to watch me dance? Diana.
Wait,
Diana from The Simpsons.
Rod, who is now a blue robot, possibly called Rod, is in a train station as another robot demands $50 from him. He has hustled him to pay for a beautiful memory of his first moment in Robot City. There, I have captured your second moment. That is another $50, says Robin Williams' red robot, ? His assistant parking meter turns and he says, I hope you are keeping track. Williams goes mad with the pictures. Each pose is a fashion model waiting to give up me them big eyes, them big anime eyes. Rodney Blue Robot does just that. Yes, I'm logging it. I'm loving it. Yes, Blue Robot says I don't want any pictures. No, well that's all right, because there's no film in the camera says Slapstick Williams. You want to buy maps of the stars' homes? Where did he go? Where does Williams sleep? Under a bridge?
Possible. I didn't think Robin Williams ever made it into The Simpsons, but here he is as a robot. It's almost immediately recognizable as well. It's it must have been easy to cast Robin Williams in movies and just say, just go and be Robin Williams. Here's some mediocre lines. Can you just sort of amp them up a little bit so it sounds funnier because you're doing them? And it works. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest, it works every time. Like that 1 hour camera.
Oh yeah, he poses a fashion model waiting to throw up. That would not make it anywhere near 2024 reboot of Robot. Rod in this situation now, he's changed from animal to robot, dog creature, or whatever he was a minute ago.
Yeah.
The robot, he's gone on quite a transition. I feel like I've picked some maybe Creative Horror-esque episodes here.
I don't think they're just normal ones. It's just the angle, it's just the light.
Yeah, I must have missed a couple of seasons where they were all robots and the cast of Animal Crossing. Yeah, I like that Rod is relatively polite here. It cracks with Rod. He doesn't. He goes along with Robin Williams' Maggie Roswell-esque requests for money immediately upon being seen. He's a hustler. This guy. Don't know his name. Don't know anything about him. I know that I like his friend with with whom?
Parking meter.
Yes, Martin Short. Yeah, I like his robot friend. He looks really cool. But Rod doesn't really.
All his friends are robots.
All of his friends are robots, except for those ones that scare him. He's come a long way to say that a story about robots would scare him. Now he is, in fact. So maybe this is the dream. Who knows? I should have watched the full episode.
Maybe he's scared of himself now.
Maybe. It seems like that could be a thing anyway for Rod. He's scared of what power he holds. Still tall. Still keeping with the blue. He's got a good team about him. But he's been taught diabetic. Still Flandersy, polite, doesn't make a fuss, but also dips out of there quite like his mother would in the middle of a scene back in the day. Doesn't.
Very nice. Clip 5. 1987, 28th of July. What are you then? Says bouffanted blonde beehive woman. I'm a roadie, says Dirty Rod, man in dark denim. Who with? Nobody you have heard of, says Roddy the roadie. The issue? St. Veronica and the Hold Sponges. It's a sort of desolate 1980s bedroom that has now been shut down. The noise form? Planet Janet, second on the bill to everyone and falling apart by the time they hit Carlisle, says Rod. Beehive giggles. Oh, I might have been a performer once, to be honest, but I haven't got a bottle. Not after what I have seen. It's all the politics, rotten contracts and dodgy managers, all ending in fistfights in the dressing room and broken glass. I do what suits me well enough it fits. If it do not, well, I move about. Ain't that right, son? Ain't that right, son? Yeah, that's right, Dad. It's what we do.
Yes.
It's what we do, isn't it, Dad? Yeah, that's right, son. You just move about. Nothing ever happens, son. Move about. See what's going on, lad. Hey, slave.
Yeah, I cut a bit out at the end of this, actually, just for time, but Rod does return and say, I didn't become a bit of a slag, I became a total slag. And you ain't my mother, yes, I am. This is a strange one. This happened with Todd as well. He ended up in the middle of London at one point in like the late 80s, early 90s. I wonder if they crossed paths or if it was for occasions. This scene, it's great to me. I like watching what I imagine is old upper-class white men in the late 50s trying to write fake names for punk bands is very enjoyable. And they came up with Saint Veronica and the Holy Sponges. The Boys from Planet Janet is my favourite.
Yeah.
Just not. I don't know how to explain something that is so good because it's not good. They are quite roddish in that sense. They seem like they're supposed to be punk bands, or this guy's supposed to be a punk, but he has to be the tamest version of a punk because he is on BBC One at like 7 o'clock at night in the 80s, so he can't actually be a punk.
He's the biggest punker, isn't he?
Yeah, he has to emulate this kind of attitude that he cannot uphold the behaviour of on screen, which is quite fun to watch. And I like that he's talking with what seems to be one of those things that if you pour water on the top of it, grows fresh out of.
A cactus.
Yes, like those 90s, like you get a face in like a potato sack, and then you pour water on it and crack it out.
I think
he seems to have befriended in a Tom Hanks Castaway-esque way. He seems to have befriended one of those.
Beehive.
Yes, a crest beehive.
Treehive beehive.
Yes, Planet Janet. A sketch.
Beautiful. So beautiful. Sometimes you just got to let it go like a jet set.
Exactly, Frozen. But what I do like about Rod in this is it seems to be expressing a new side to himself in a similar way how Todd did when he moved to Walford.
I can't share my screen.
Yes, you cannot.
Pat, the trip dispenser. Pat, the trip dispenser.
What do you think about Rod in this London setting? Do
I
you think
was
it
just
suits him?
wondering, I did say to him a lot, if he's a little bit BBC punk, and that's exactly where I thought he would go. I think it's a lot less weak than he becoming a dressing up as a lady and dancing in a Las Vegas nightclub. I think he
Well, some conservatives, possibly his parents, would argue that that's exactly what he's doing in this scene.
some would, but then they're puddled, aren't they? They're
Yes, but Rod is a rocker. He's technically called Rod the Roadie here.
Rod the
Is what he's
tamest rocker in the West.
Yes, Rod the Tame Roadie, and he's just going around.
Is he in Albert
with
Square
this.
there?
He is. He's in Albert Square, Walford.
Have a scroll off it.
Bit of a slag. Yeah, he seems to. I don't believe that the person he's talking to exists. I think he's in some kind of castaway setup where he's just expressing. He's playing a character. That's the easiest way we can go about this. He's
Character of Rodney the Roadie.
Yes, in the similar way to how his mother writes in her diary all of her darkest thoughts. Rod the Roadie seems to be expressing them to this Cress woman,
I
and
think
I think it's beautiful.
Cresswoman and Rod the Roadie. I'm sure we've not heard the last of Cresswoman. And
I
Rod
know.
the Roadie.
Can't wait to see her Funko and her comic and her movie poster. Sharon Flim Flam. It begins. That's not fair. That's new.
Clip 6, Season 2, Episode 7, A Touch of Glass. Plonkers! Rodney and his new brother, not Todd, Delbert, are climbing 2 parallel ladders. All right, Rodney, anything you want? Yes.
Radders.
All right, Rodders, anything you want? Yes, I want to go home. It's still in London, I can see. It is unclear as to why Rodney and Delbert are climbing said ladders. The crowd is going bananas. There is a chandelier at the top of the ladders. Be careful, boys. This is the chance we've been waiting for, says Rodney. Now, don't let me down, Rodney, says Delboy. Don't let me down, says Delboy. They open a blanket underneath the chandelier. It is unclear why. Right, and now brace yourself, Rodney. They watch the chandelier very, very carefully. They are about to catch the very expensive chandelier. Above, we see a man hitting the screw to release the chandelier. So far, so good. There was a second chandelier, we say.
What?
And the Rodney and Delboy had the blanket under the incorrect chandelier. It smashed to the ground. Oh, crumbs. Delboy falls sideways through a bar as the brothers stand in amazement at dropped chandelier. You palonkers.
Now this is comedy gold, which is why it is on
Dave.
the now debunked channel UK Gold, which would just show this clip over and over again, 24 hours a day. This is a British icon scene for Rod that I'm surprised doesn't get talked about more in the context of The Simpsons. I'd say it's one of the most famous scenes,
You
except for
palonkers.
when Homer's best friend Trigger watches him fall through the bath. And then he always calls him Dave. I like that Rod has maybe Todd's just going by Delbert. It sort of works in the right height scale.
Tall T, tall
Yes.
Rod, like a rod.
Yes, Rod rather much taller than Todd. Todd too tall.
Equal length.
Tallest. Todd tallest. Rod real tallest. Yeah. This is just comedy waiting to happen, isn't it? This is what people.
They're under the wrong chandelier.
They're absolutely flabbergasted by this kind of physical humor.
Those people were losing their shit before even any chandeliers dropped.
Yeah,
They
I can
knew what
see.
was
I bet
coming.
there was so many audience members nudging their patient wives, saying something's about to happen here. They're not.
I don't know
they're
what.
not gonna, I don't know what, but they're not going to catch this chandelier. I can tell you that for certain. And then guess what? They don't. Stamp bangs out the wrong screw upstairs. Uncle Stamp.
Uncle Grambert.
Yes.
And then they run down the street dressed as Batman and Robin.
Exactly. I forgot to put that one in. That's also one of the most iconic
Comedy
Rod
day.
Flanders and Delbert Flanders scenes.
Bonkers, you plonkers, you slag.
Yes. Great scene. It seems like he's no longer a roadie, but he is still living the Cockney lifestyle that Todd also experienced. We don't know anything about Ned and Maude's Kaching experiences or the stepmother Edna, who in London, whether that happened.
No, But if I could piece together what I think happened, at some point he left after he became this famous celebrity in Springfield. He just couldn't take it, and he also wasn't very happy that his family hadn't given him much respect. So he moved to this little island that he thought was a beautiful digital paradise. But he was mocked merciless for his dancing by mean animals.
Was it like a Moreau, Dr. Moreau style island, or
It
did
was
he at some point transition into an animal of his own choice?
Bad Lads. It was Sunderland, wasn't it? Probably.
Oh, yes, it was.
So then he goes and he leaves there and he becomes a robot, and he goes into the train station where Williams takes advantage of him. So he's like, I've had enough of this. I'm going to BBC London. And he goes into BBC London and talks to Cresswoman for a bit. It's not working
Gradually
out.
losing his mind.
It's not working out, Cresswoman. He gets his brother, Delbert Todney, and they go start a small chandelier securing business, and it's not going well. The plonkers.
I haven't seen the entire through line of the story, but I can almost certainly say that I think you got it exactly right.
I'm
There was
pretty sure.
probably slightly more biblical things. That's an odd poster that I like a lot. I like the front of the bike says Cresswoman.
I also like this friend.
Yes, that is he should stick around.
Cresswoman friend.
This enormous Cresswoman will destroy us all.
Clip 7.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. He seems to, no spoilers, but this seems to be the end of his. This might be it. This is probably literally the nail in the coffin for him. The nail in the chandelier for him.
Not. Don't get too far ahead, because current lightning.
Get fresh with me.
You get fresh with Todd and Rod.
I think so.
Current
We
light.
just did two full clips in London, and I think I muttered "No way, no way" once we got through it. Shockingly.
No way. No way.
Not today.
He said that on me last week. BBC Albert Square. He said this on last week. Where are you from? Janet Planet? Janet Planet, you slag. Pick up this fucking chandelier. Pick up the bits of the fucking chandelier and I will sever your jugular. Williams is on his way. Williams will get what's owed him.
Rod's turned out to be one of the more interesting characters, it seems.
Who would have thought he'd been on such a journey, but it hasn't stopped. The clip 7 unspecified. Current lightning protection systems are still based on the lightning rod invented by Ben Franklin's almost 300 years ago. You see a modern skyscraper and an old crappy house. The European founded Project Laser Lightning Rod is using laser-based technology to form an upward guide for lightning flashes, laser up to the sky. There is Space Eagles and houses. Other uses are transporting or storage of hazardous materials from industrial, nuclear, chemical, or any electrical plants. Laser rod, laser lightning rod, a major breakthrough in lightning research. So it seems like Rod has eschewed his human body.
Yeah, this is crazy. It's mental, if you could still say that these days. He is this has to be connected to the robot scene. Otherwise, it would just make no sense. That's why I put this in here, because this is Rod truly living up to his namesake. He tried it once before in a minimal way. I say minimal. He saved the lives of 3 astronauts, Homer Simpson.
Oh yeah, there's a definite through line.
Homer, really, boo. So it seems like he's probably either put his robotic knowledge to use, as I'm not even on the screen, am I? Put his robotic knowledge to use, but also might just have metal in his body still from being a robot with Robin Williams.
He's gone full laser rod.
I would like to speculate that Robin Williams and possibly Del Boy have helped to adapt Rod to become this laser rod, and this would be what I would say his final form of existence. This is where Rod wants to be the most. He is controlling lightning in the sky and watching over the city of Walford.
Making everybody safe for himself and others.
Making Vanilla and Shane Ritchie falling out of his car and Cat Slater slide
Quite nice.
safe down there in their little Walford town.
Well, just before, don't get too carried away with the laser Ben Franklin's firing up the sky. You couldn't even save your own. Rowdy Roddy, as he's now called, is back in an alleyway, back in human form, and he smacks Keith David in the chops and says, "This fight is over." And a beautiful trope emerges. "I'm trying to save your life. and your family's life. You can't even save yourself. I'm giving you a choice. Put these on or start eating this trash can. Not this year. Okay, come on. I don't want to fight you. Stop it. Put the glasses on. I told you I don't want to be involved, you dirty motherfucker. Take a look. Put them on. No, I'm sorry. Put the glasses on. Put them on. Fuck you. Look, they're everywhere.
Nice.
It was a long fight, but that essentially was the highlights.
Do get fresh with me. Did you enjoy the? I had decided to just put some musical accompaniments in it to
Yes.
speed things up a bit.
I quickly worked out how the 9-minute video wasn't going to take me 16 hours to make notes on. So
Yes. How
there you go.
quickly?
20 seconds in where I was like, oh, I see what you've done here.
Yes, I like to speculate that given that this music is playing, this fight must be happening underneath somebody either listening to the modcast or recording it.
Yeah, there was
This
it.
could, this fight, I speculate, this fight happened when our cousins were in regular Springfield that season, and they're just privy to songs such as whatever I use, probably Vanilla and Befana.
La Befana Nantakahos la 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 be Befana.
Maude Flanders, with shoes all broken, right knee, the Roman dress honors. Long live the Befana, right bird. The finer comes at night, with shoes all broken, Christ lady, the Roman dress, Diana. Long live the Befana, Keith David. All night alone, buzz out here on the broom, fly, trigger. All night alone, like a lasers on the broom, fly. Talk, the finder comes at night in white, with shoes all broke, so it's Ian who won one. Hobgoblin, Maude Flanders, Maude Flanders.
Brilliant.
Exactly. This is Rod at his most violent, but also his most determined. He obviously has learned knowledge that he wants to pass on to his new friend, who is neither Todd, Del Boy, or Cress Lady. This appears to be just a new friend. I say friend; they don't seem to be getting on very well.
No, it's Keith David from Rick and Morty.
From Community.
Community.
Oh, is it actually?
From They Live.
Nice. I did not know that was.
Yeah, that's who it is.
Did not make that connection. I thought he was a wrestler too.
No, it's brilliant. Fantastic. Rod gave him a damn good hiding, but Keith David gave as good as he got until the end, where Rod forced him to put on a pair of glasses and see how the aliens had taken over. And we thought old Rod was creepy.
Yeah, this new Rod, well, you say creepy, but I would like to take the term woke in this situation. He is aware of what is going on around him. What do they think? Is Crest predominantly an Indian product?
I hope so. Let's ask the internet.
Anyway, I'm making the assumption that woman's Indian. Yeah, but Rod is especially violent in this scene. Thanks, you. The you one. Yeah. Back to this scene. He obviously has this friend's best interests at heart. Keith David, his friend from Community's friends at heart. Because he has something that he needs him to see. But Keith David from Community is not interested. He is not. He clearly does not trust Rod in the same way that, let's say this is Todd. Todd Cresswoman, Robin Williams, or whoever the other one his best friends is. Who is the other one? He's just been best friends with a minute ago.
Robin Williams.
That's the one. Lightning Rod. Oh, Del Boy. If it had been any of them or Todd Flanders, his brother, they would have trusted him enough to put the glasses on.
All right, put the glasses on. Okay.
Yeah. No 12-minute fight scene. Obviously, this as well was the basis of the Family Guy chicken fight. So once again, Family Guy just shamelessly stealing from The Simpsons.
Oh yeah, I mean it's the lazy man's way to fill 9 minutes.
It is. It's a great scene.
Great scene.
It's worth your 9 minutes, especially with songs like "Wacky Music Best" it's called on my computer.
The fiery depths of hell.
Yes, Black Leeches. Yeah, to say it's the longest scene, there really isn't that much you can say about it.
No.
It's just a long drawn out, very realistic for the Simpsons fight. It's and we have also Family Guy Simpsons episode had Homer and whatever Family Guy Homer's called do this fight. So Simpsons referencing themselves in a way.
In a very real way.
Rod also looks his sort of
Rod's looking buff.
yeah, most dominant here. Like Rod looks like this is why he wouldn't have got away with this if this was scene one.
No.
This was scene one, and he turned around to Bart on that lawnmower and said, "Put these glasses on." Bart would have just trumped in his mouth.
But I would have taken him to Slaptown.
Exactly. I managed to get Songbot to say no to me yesterday. I finally gave it a request for a Truth Frog song that was just too much.
One can only hope that that's one sometimes sees the lights of day.
But you can get around it if you just change the word shit to the word fee and then also the word seas. Oh,
Or she eat.
yes. I did try. Well, I also did one about him eating sheets, but then it just made it about like it added a lot of bed and cotton references.
Anyway, so let's get to some Rod art. Here's the first beautiful piece of Rod art done by Pink Windmill. It's when Rod adopted some kind of puppet bird, and he was kind of
Baz Emu.
Baz Emu, and he was kind of irritating an old witch.
Who is the old witch?
Grotbags
Oh, from cartoons and stuff.
from Grotbags, yeah. From the Rod Hull and Emu spin-off, Grotbags.
She looks like a grot bag. There's a couple of grot bags in this episode, isn't there? Robin
yeah.
Williams and Robot. Yeah, Rod seems to have found some kind of
Niche.
yeah, like charming joy, but he's not letting his face know about it in this situation. He seems to be doing something very whimsical, but it does not have any whimsical effect on either himself or the victim.
It looks as if the puppet is literally drawing energy out of Rod's body and sucking him
Like
dry, as it
Voldemort.
were. Exactly, as he as he whirs his emu on his giant appendage.
Baz Riddle Emu.
Baz
Yeah,
Riddle.
I like it a lot though. I think it's a beautiful I think it's a beautiful piece of art. Well done.
How about this one? That you can a rare factory Simpsons Rod Flanders prototype, 14 plus one of a kind for a mere $80 US plus another $96 postage.
Yes, too bad sold out. No Ned, just
Sold out.
candy, $90.
No returns. It's a particularly
One word,
bad Rod, isn't it?
one word did change my opinion on it almost entirely there, and that word is prototype.
Right?
I've seen there is a Rod, and it does look like Rod, and this kind of looks like Bongo Rod wearing Todd's clothes. The grey hair is a Bongo Rod callback,
Yes.
I would say, but it is also quite very clearly a Bart. It is quite clearly somebody lying about it being a prototype, and it is just a Bart, a pre-owned Bart teddy
With the price hiked up through the roof.
yeah, with some cloths or some kind of sheep wool attached to the head.
Caveat
probably-
emporium.
He probably has some kind of weird, sick nude Todd like knocking about that he's taken the clothes off and put onto Rod, even though Rod and Todd do not wear the same clothes.
No, even though they are identical twins.
I repeat.
Here is a picture of Rod again. This time
he's
looking
taking more souls.
more joyous as he's sucking the soul out of the face of Doc Cotton.
This time he's happier because he is not sacrificing his own soul.
No.
He is taking the life of an older woman. But it does seem, again, this is just artwork. Well, actually, no, it's just a photograph. But
Photos can be art.
that is true. Ask any photo person. Yeah, he's back to his old tricks. I like this sort of. It's weird that we didn't see it in any of the clips, but Rod and this soul-sucking emu seem to be a thing.
Is that what it is?
What I've learned about this Rod in this Rodcast is that he makes a lot of close friends quickly who don't stick around. Either probably from circumstance, as he said when he was a roadie, he goes just a bar.
That's bad. It's a bar, ain't it?
Bit of a slag.
It's a bar, ain't it?
So he's a craftswoman, Delbert. Is the soul-sucking bird. He's had
Robin Williams.
Robbie Williams robot.
You can't really call Diana a friend because she's
She was mean, wasn't
a
she?
bit of an SOB.
But here, at the fish cartel, where you can, if you contact in a mere 2 weeks, you can you get a custom rod I'm not even sure exactly how you get a custom rod, but they
But
say
plushie was a custom rod.
handmade with care and artistry to suit your style.
Nice. That's the joy of 3D printing these days, that you can have any rod you want. You can go for any of his infamous Simpsons costumes, from blue t-shirt and pants to being a robot to Animal Crossing to Rod wearing that t-shirt that says "I'm with stupid" on it.
Butthole surface.
Yes. Look, now Rod's stupid. Now Mommy's stupid. What did you just say to me? Yeah, it's nice. He seems to have he's taken a lot of fans by, taken the world by storm, really, in terms of merchandise and variety of merchandise, I would say.
But here's a book that was made all about him when he was going through his proper period, probably when he was beating up Keith David in the alleyway. The Art of the Hot Rod, Ken Gross, with photography by Peter Hardholt and foreword by Alex Xenakis. Big Zen.
Nice. Yeah, this seems to be, unfortunately, the cover of the book seems to have absolutely nothing to do with Rod, unless
Hot or cold?
unless it is a reference to Rod driving a car at some point that we have not seen. But
Maybe it's a reference to that lawnmower you heard at the beginning.
maybe that must be what it is. I can only put my trust in Ken Gross, Peter Harholt, and Alex Xenakis, that they would have done the research.
Their utmost.
Zidius, quite a good name. I'm surprised Xenakis isn't a Darth yet. But yeah, it's nice that he does have a book about him, Rod. Then maybe it's just like a Fabio-esque glossy photo shoot book.
Oh yeah,
just
right when that pigeon flew into his face.
yes, or like when he dropped that chandelier, or like when he completely beat the shit out of Keith David from Community.
Just when he went a bat.
Exactly, Planet Janet.
Rod and Todd Flanders acrylics on stretch canvas.
Now, this is the least recognizable one we've looked at.
Todd good, Rod bad.
Yes, I agree. Todd seems to be in his Christmas Todd clothing and is Todd accurate. Rod seems to be wearing Flim Flam's hoodie, which is Rod inaccurate, but I will take. I don't mind the lack of Rod looking like Rod, because I always like a wacky looking Simpson, I like a bongo Simpson.
Oh yeah.
And also acrylic is
bad medium.
Yeah, probably not the easiest way to. I think it's intentional, though. I think this person, if you sat this person down and said, "Draw me Rod Flanders," they could do a picture perfect Rod.
10 out of 10, but not this. Said I'm going to do a 6 out of 10.
Yes, by choice, and I as an artist understand that notion and appreciate it.
How about this? How about this, Rod? This is Rod painted by his mate Ronnie Wood.
Nice, Roddy Wood.
Ronnie Wood. It's 1,750 quid. If you go onto Ronnie Wood's site, you can buy this painting of Rod the Mod.
I know he seems to be back into his not necessarily his roadie phase, but still in his music era, as he seems to be emulating imagine if somebody put Jennifer Aniston in a microwave for a couple of hours and then gave her a mullet, or some kind of blonde hedgehog.
Hers not big enough for the real Rod, but Rod's just walking out the door, and you imagine Rod's going out the door, and Ronnie shouts, "Oh, Rod, where are you going?" And he goes, "I'm just going a bar." And he says, "Just stand there for an hour." And Rod just stands there for an hour looking back at him. He's like, "Can I go now?" "No, just another 20 minutes. Can I go now?" "Just another hour, Rod. Stop, you palonka."
Exactly.
And then he
was supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Eventually, Rod just left. He said, I'll paint the other part after. And Rod never came back. Rod never came back. And Ronnie was a bit short on cash for booze for the weekend, so he stuck it up on Etsy for 1,700 quid. Get this up on Etsy.
He is wearing blue, though. I'll give him that. I'll give Woody Rod. I'll give him that.
He's wearing blue, bloody blue.
Dabba-dee-dabba-die.
Rod Moore, as he's now known, just general stuff. And then the last one, not the last one at all, not even close. The last one is the grown-up brothers from Nostalgia Bait. And they're trying to summon up, sadly, not trying to sum up the ghost of Maude, but they're trying to sum up the ghost of My Chemical Romance.
Yes. Or Manchester.
Or Manchester. But these are My Chemical Romance album covers. And
yes, that would make more sense as well.
And It's I'm disappointed that they have decided not to raise the ghost of Maude.
As am I. It's a nicely done image, though. I'm happy with it, and I like that the Rod especially kind of looks like the oldest goth from South Park in this context. Todd looks a bit older than normal, which is kind of fine, and I think that's a badly placed foot. But other than that, it's not too bad.
It is a badly placed foot. BPF.
BPF.
But
I'm fine with it. I don't.
Round
He
face
looks-
Todd, long Rod. Round
Yes.
Rod. Round Todd, long Rod.
Todd round, Rod tall,
Rod long.
Lenny Black. Yeah, I like it. I don't know what the need to summon a band that none of the members and died is.
Still
You
exists,
could,
doesn't
you
it?
could bring back many band members from bands where people have died. The Beatles, loads of them have died. All of the Beach Boys are dead, according to the Mordcast. So yeah, I think it's just a waste of their energy, but it's a nice image, nicely done image, and I like it a lot.
Here's some clip art of a man with a fishing rod.
Very Neddy.
Not sure which one is Rod, whether this is Rod holding a rod, and the fish is also called Rod, so it's triple Rod. And there's a badly placed reel.
Yes, I think it's Ned, Rod, and Todd. Todd being the fish, Ned being the fisherman, Rod
Ned
being
being
the
the Ned
rod,
being the rod, Rod
Yes.
being the man, and Todd being the fish.
Todd being the Todd. Yeah, it's fine. It's clip art abs.
His Hands by Rod Peterson, loose print, so it's kind of like a suntan Jesus helping out some kids. $2.99. You can pay over you can pay over 4 interest-free installments.
It's helping kids of every race except for Asian, which is nice of him in a way.
In a way. In a way. If you're going to
It's
exclude
nice.
anyone, exclude the members of the human race that have most people in it. So it's at least I just went with the minorities.
Well, to be fair, the last time he was here, he only had 12 mates, and at least he's branching out. 13 if you count that Hua.
But I'm not sure if this is the right way to go.
I became a total slag.
It's like when they did the Saved by the Bell, The Next Generation, but everybody wanted the college years.
That's true. And then they got the college years.
Nobody wanted it. We want
Yes.
we want Saved by the Bell with a new class with Screech in it. Want to start a wedding project to make a steel fox sculpture? Try to find steel rods like this.
You can't steal Rod.
I'm new to welding and I'm looking to do a metal course to bend the rods, which I think you can do.
You can't bend Rod.
Who would want to make a welding project for a steel fox? There's so much
It's a
more
good
to this
idea.
about this. Some of them so more.
It's very Maudie. Bermondsey hobby art.
I hope that Bimonsi Hobby Art managed to get it.
I just hope he used different rods, not the rod that we have come to know and love. And I hope that he didn't melt him down. As we know, his body is made of metal. So I hope he wasn't melted down to make this fox sculpture. However, if he was, it's a fitting way to go.
This is the last one. It is a piece of art in which Rod looking a hell of a lot. I did not make it. Rod looking a hell of a lot like Eric Idle, and he's got a giant floating rod behind us. Feed me, John. It's like that Garfield, isn't it?
Yes. It also now seems a bit like his soul has almost been completely extracted by the emu, and it is now grown to the point where not only is it still on his arm, it also has a complete presence like behind him, like an ethereal.
Look at his eyes.
emu.
There's a man lost in emu.
Rod isn't in there anymore. That's like when you get those parasites, like the mushroom parasites that grow on like bugs, or the Pokemon Parasect.
What I particularly liked
That's
about
essentially
this,
what this is here.
exactly, he lost his soul completely, hasn't he? What I particularly liked were the comments. So great to see this. I was a huge Rod Hull fan, so much that I owned 2 emus for many years.
Rod is not for Hull.
Rod Hull and
It's for
emu.
Hull.
I was such a shock when he died. To clarify, when you said you had 2 emus, do you mean actual living birds or the probably replicas or Rod Hull's emu? The farm replied, actual living emus. I lived on a small ranch. I always loved animals. Oh, the stories. I could tell about learning to keep emus, which is why I understand why he used them as comedic partner. They are wonderful, goofy animals, but they can do real damage to you. They get scared. We had some glorious fun with them. One like The art farm replied, haha, I'm sure I could write a book for sure. My emus are coming out with 3 legs. I also had a goffin cockatoo who could put a hole in your, who could put a hole in your hand. With emus, it's not the
Welcome to the
beak.
podcast.
With emus, it's not the beak, it's the feet. When we first got one, we need to move it to another enclosure. During that move, he managed to lay open my husband's forearm with his claw. It required 12 stitches, and the ER doctor were very intrigued by the story about my husband got the injury.
But to summarise, rest in peace, Rodhole.
Anyway,
Wow, that was a beautiful way to end the rodness of it all. What a beautiful adventure.
Nurse Jowdy, come on, wrap it up, wrap up the arm, and I'll use here, have a drink of the spirit of Ricoardo, all 3 of you boys. No, I'm not drinking that.
I don't particularly want any of that either.
Dobby, you'll have some, right?
Yes, I sure will stand to make the new Caster Silo links in the tree.
All right, anyway, bye. Come on, let's get back in our bike boat and fly off now. We're all good. I hope Dobby being possessed by the spirit of Ricoardo isn't going to cause any trouble.
Probably not. Ooh. Have you not read a list of his best quotes? There's some amazing ones. Here's what I say. Remember that soup I made last week? Absolutely horrible. I had to throw it in the garden. Here we go. If we could throw a fishing rod into the corridors of time and reel you in, you'd throttle you, wouldn't you? And this is what I said to Bill Clinton once. I know what it's like to be wronged by the press. I was once accused of shoplifting. Unlike you, though, I knew I was innocent.
Zoom. The end. Shall we finish with a song, or do we not do that?
I can't remember.
No, we don't do it.
I don't know. Yes, let's just. If we do, I'll make one.
We do. Party's grumbling and mowing lawn ruddy.
Homer Simpson was the hero hanging out of space station. Number 5.
Can you folk? He's already sung one. I'll do me own.
Oh yeah.
Homer Simpson was the real hero. The cheese zoom.
In Rod We Trust. Steve Reed's South Barry.
Train Totter Rat.
Idyllic Digital Field.
Rodney Ripley's Undertand.
Performance appeared over her head.
Blue Robotti hustled Cadupies.
Urban Williams, he is assistant parking meter.
Snow Fleming, slapstick.
Blow Robot Datsy.
I'm a roadie, says Dirty Man.
The noise from Planet Janet.
Fist fights in the dressing room and broken glass.
Dodged to Yenny Man images.
Plunkers. Bananas. Don't let me down, says Del Boy.
There was a second chandelier. Plonkers. Laser up to the sky.
Space Age laser rod.
You could not even say EV on Brody Roddy's in check.
Look, they're everywhere. The end.
The end.
I was a huge Rodhole fan, so much so that I owned 2 emus for many years. Artist Rodhole and Emu were one of my favorites too. It was such a shock when he died. To clarify, when you said you had 2 Amos, do you mean actual living Bernie Moose? Actual living Bernie Moose? Or the puppet replicas of Rodhole's Emu? Actual living Moose. Actual living Moose. Actual living Moose. I live on a small ranch. I always loved animals of all kinds, and we ended up building a small petting zoo. Someone was selling a young emu they were raising in a suburban yard. I went and got it. It was Henry, so it was very affectionate, lapping his head around before a hug. Old stories I could tell about learning how to keep your moose. All the stories. I understand why he used to keep them as comedic partners. I understand you, Rodhole. It's not the beak, it's the bloody feet. It's not the beak, it's the bloody feet. Can you imagine any animal with 3 bloody feet? It's not the beak, it's the bloody feet. Oh, imagine any animal with 3 bloody feet. Oh, it's not understand why he used to keep the mask on me in partners. Understand you rock hard. They are wonderful, goofy animals, but they can do real damage to you if they get scared. Real damage and scared. We had some glorious fun with them. Miss them every day, every day. I could sure write a book, still learning this whole AI thing. And so far some of my Amos are coming out with 3 legs. 3 bloody legs. I also had a golfing cockatoo who could put a hole in your hand. Pop will drill your hand. With the news, it's not the beak, it's the feet. When we first got one, we needed to move it to another enclosure. During that move, he managed to lay open my husband's forearm with his claw. Laid that forearm wide open with his claw. It required 12 stitches, and the ER doctors were very intrigued by the story of how my husband got the injury. It's not the beak, it's the feet. Not the beak, it's the feet. It's not the beak, it's the feet. Not the beak, it's the feet. It's not the beak, it's the feet. Maude Flanders. To you if they get scared. It's the buttless bloody feet. Maude Flanders can. Can you imagine an emo with 3 bloody feet? Maude Flanders has. It's the bloody feet. Maude Flanders can. Can you imagine an emo with 3 bloody feet? Maude Flanders has the beat. It's the bloody feet. Maude Flanders cast. Can you imagine an emo with 3 bloody feet? Maude Flanders cast. The beat, it's the bloody feet. Maude Flanders cast. Can you imagine an emo with 3 bloody feet? Maude Flanders cast. The beat, it's the bloody feet. Maude Flanders cast. Can you imagine an emo with 3 bloody feet? Maude Flanders cast. The beat, it's the bloody feet. Maude Flanders cast. It's not the beak, it's the bloody feet. Maude Flanders cast. Not the beak, it's the bloody feet. Maude Flanders cast. Not the beak, not the beak, it's the bloody feet. Maude Flanders cast. Not the beak, Maude Flanders cast. It's not the beak, it's the bloody feet. Maude Flanders cast. Can you imagine an emo with 3 bloody feet? Maude Flanders cast. It's not the beak, it's the bloody feet. Maude Flanders cast. It's not the beak, it's the bloody feet. Maude Flanders cast. Maude Flanders cast. Not the beak, it's the bloody feet. Maude Flanders cast. Can you imagine an emo with 3 bloody feet? Maude Flanders cast. Not the beak, it's the bloody feet. Can you imagine an emo with 3 bloody feet? It's not the beak, it's the bloody feet. Maude Flanders cast. Not the beak, it's the bloody feet. Maude Flanders cast. Not the beak, Maude Flanders cast. We forgot to mention Rodney Dangerfield. All touch of a stop.
Bye.
Bye.
Sponsored by Bovine.